Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Fermenting Adventures. My name is Lisa Keegan and welcome back to my kitchen. It's been a long time coming, but I am back in here and it's taken me half an hour to set up today, actually over that. So yes, we're here though. I do hope you can hear me, and we are starting a fermentation week. So everything this week is about learning how to ferment in your Thermomix. Now there'll be tips for TM31, TM5, TM6, and if you've got some other thermocooker for you as well. So come along this week, and we're starting with yogurt, okay? You might have noticed as well, we're doing a bit of a challenge on Thursday. We're starting beer. Never made beer in a Thermomix. It'll be really interesting to see. So let's get started on yogurt. I'm going to show you how to do this whether you've got, as I said, no matter what model. You can take this recipe, and there are some tips though. You're going to have to change it a bit. It is a TM6 guided recipe on Cookie Do, but that doesn't stop you. Those of you with the 31 or 5, you can make this as well. So I am using the natural yogurt Varoma method. It is my favorite method by far because it means that you can take it out of the bowl, you put it into something else to ferment, which means you can make pot style set yogurt, and you just put it in the fridge when it's done. So it's actually solid. There is another one that I quite like that's called natural yogurt bowl set method, and that's actually where they set it in the bowl. Okay, another one that's great as well. However, I do find when you then want to move it out of the bowl into a container, it drops the whey like you do in the store-bought yogurt, right? When you scoop it and it lets the whey out of it. So the more you transport it, the more whey falls out. Now you can thicken it, okay? You can actually, when I say thicken it, you can drain it so it becomes thicker. So if you do that bowl set one and you like super thick yogurt, you could put it in a nut milk bag and drain it, and that draining then will release the whey. You can use the whey for cooking. So there are ways you can make it thick, but this by far is my favorite because, as I said, you incubate it in a container, a jug, a Pyrex jar, whatever, and then, or even little jars, and then you put them in the fridge. So there's no disturbance where you then drop the whey out until you're actually eating it. So I'm going to show you this one today. The other variation I'm doing is I'm using real yogurt cultures. I'm not using my previous batch yogurt because I don't have a previous batch. But once you start this, it's really cost effective. It'll save you a lot of money making your own yogurt because you can use your previous batch to make the next batch. So it's only really costing you milk powder, and flavouring if you'd like. So it's really quite cheap. Hey Lynette, lovely to have you on. Hey Jenny, it's been ages. I hope you're well. Okay, let's start cooking straight away. Now it is important in this recipe that your bowl is clean, otherwise you'll get stringy yogurt. Don't let it go to waste though. If you get stringy yogurt, use it to make yogurt cake. Put it in muffins, bread instead of sour cream or water or milk or those sorts of things. Don't let it go to waste, okay? Anyway, this initially says place a small bowl onto the mixing bowl lid, then put 55 grams of natural yogurt in. Now I'm using culture, so I don't need to. Set it aside. So now we're going to put in 1,000 grams of full cream milk. Okay, now that is a lot of full cream milk. Now I'm going to actually put in 2 though. If you want to fast track this recipe, because I'm going to have to stop you halfway through in a moment and just tell you the end, because to make yogurt properly and well, you actually need to heat your milk up to 90 degrees and then let it come back down to 40 degrees. Or you'll see in this recipe it says, I think 50. The reason it says 50 is because by the time you add your milk powder and your culture, that drops the temp further. Anything over about 40 will actually kill culture and yogurt, and you won't end up with beautiful yogurt. It just won't ferment. So let me just put this in now. And I'm going to do 2 litres because my kids love yogurt. In it goes. So 2 litres in. A little bit extra on that one. That's a bit of a win. Now it says without the measuring cup. Next. And now it's got 10 minutes, 80 degrees. Now it's going to take an extra 5 minutes on top of that. Remember when we double recipes, we always add an extra half time. So it says 10, so half of 10 is 5, half time. So we need 15 minutes to get this to 80 degrees. I said 90 before, didn't I? Normally it's 90 degrees because what we're doing here is actually killing off the living bacteria in the milk so that the culture of yogurt, the bacteria in the yogurt culture, can actually do its job. Otherwise they fight with each other and nothing happens. You won't get thickened, you won't get that tanginess to it, it won't ferment, okay? That's what we're doing here. Now, a way you can fast track this, because obviously I'm gonna have to go and 15 minutes, bring this to temperature, leave it an hour, let it drop, or even longer. You want it down to 37 to 40. Then I'm going to add 3 things. I'm not going to put sugar in it, but I am going to put milk powder. I am going to put my starter, and I'm going to put flavouring. I'm going to put vanilla in it, okay? And then you could put sugar. Just follow the recipe. Then it stirs through really gently. Then you decant it into something else. This is where your good old 2.2 litre thermoservers, for those who've been around a long time, or your white thermoserver, if you've got a white one. They fit in your Varoma on top. And you'll pour it in, put the lid on, and it's going to incubate overnight. So it is something you want to do afternoons so that you got it for the next day. Not, 5 minutes time. It's not a quick recipe. But, your Thermomix is free overnight, so you can. Now, if you don't have a thermoserver, a Pyrex dish, a couple of jars, anything that fits in your Varoma and allows the lid to go on. Those of you with a 2.6 litre, yours are taller, it will not fit. You can't put the lid on it, so don't try, okay? So then what happens is it has some water and it says some lemon juice underneath. Now the lemon juice is to stop your blades going rusty because of it's a residue heat, so it's not hot. It's not cold, but it's that temperature that chemical reactions can happen. So they want you to put lemon juice. I use apple cider vinegar, which you probably can't see, but it's on the bench. Again, it's just to stop the blades rusting and look after your blades. And then what happens is that will be 70 degrees for 10 hours overnight, while the top sits, pretty much the 40-degree mark, and it incubates your yogurt. So it's perfect, it's accurate, and it's the same every time, which is what I love the most. So that's about it. If I can help you with any way with your yogurt, or you've had challenges with your yogurt in the past, do reach out. I'd love to troubleshoot with you. It is one of the things that we make dairy that isn't dairy free that we can quite enjoy, but we do use it in things like pizza dough and yogurt and things like that. So if you've got a favorite yogurt recipe, do share. Now, those of you with a TM5 or a TM31, I nearly forgot to tell you, you can't incubate yours in or on top of your Thermomix because it doesn't go long enough. Your time is restricted to 99 minutes for the TM5 and 59 for the TM31. So what do you need to do? You need to take yours out of the bowl while it's still sitting at that 37 to 40 degrees after you've added your milk powder, your starter, and your flavouring. And you need to put it in a thermoserver. You do need a thermoserver, okay? Unless you've got an official yogurt maker type thing, you need a thermoserver. You need to put the lid on and you need to put it in a warm spot. Now, this time of year in Queensland, it'll be fine on the bench. If it was winter, you're going to start struggling to keep it warm. You'll need to put it in somewhere like your oven with the light on. So not temperature on, just the light, so it keeps it slightly warm, or under a heat lamp. I've seen people wrap it in blankets and put it in a cooler bag, so that it keeps it warm. But it has to be that warmth. If it gets too cold, they'll die off. You can reheat it though, okay? If you got to the morning and you're like, oh, this hasn't actually gone far enough, you can bring it back up to temp and give it a bit longer to see if it'll actually turn. So that's how you do it if you've got some other thermo that doesn't do the slow cook time and the fermenting time that you'll see the TM6 do. If you'd like information about getting a TM6 on the bench, do reach out. I'd love to support you get one and get the most out of it. Okay, it is available at the moment on both Afterpay, which is pretty cool. We've just got that come on board. Zip Money has 36 months interest free, so that works out to $20 a week to get a Thermomix on the bench. And of course, we've got the $29 bowl offer as well, which you've heard me say it, and I'll say it again. It's the deal of the year. Everyone wants a second bowl. It's the next best thing to having another Thermi on the bench, right? We can flick it in and out as you need. So if you want to take up that offer, we are starting to get down on our stocks. We know that. I think the next time they're going to tell us is when we're down at like 750 or something. So we're running out of days on this offer. It will not last till December like they originally said. Well, it was while stocks last anyway, but the date was December. So if you want to get one on the bench with the amazing deal, let me know. I'd love to help you get one, and more importantly, continue to look after you to get the most out of it. So I'm going to spin this up. It's going to get to 80. It's going to kill off the milk cultures. Oh, I forgot to tell you. If you've got long life milk, don't heat it to 80 degrees. Just heat it to 40 degrees. Just to 40, and then put your cultures and everything in. So it's a much faster process with the long life milk, because it's already been cooked. That's why it's on the shelf and it's long life, because they've cooked off all the bacteria already. That's kind of what you're doing at this step, except it's going to take longer because you've got to let it cool again. Don't try and fast forward that step. If you put your culture, your yogurt in, and your milk powder and your vanilla while it's still at 60 degrees, it'll kill them. Your culture won't actually survive to be able to turn your milk and eat that lactose in there. So that's it. Have a great afternoon, guys. Let me know if I can help you in any way. My details are here, so please do let me know. But otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow. Sauerkraut tomorrow. So we have that with brekkie every day, and I can't wait to show you how that is made in the Thermomix, because the Thermomix makes really light work of something that could be quite a labour-intensive task. So we'll see you tomorrow then, guys. Bye for now.